Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PMDC online lecture room. My name is Akhtar, lecturer in mathematics. Today we will discuss ellipse, which is of second year mathematics, chapter number 8. Ellipse. Definition: an ellipse is the set of all points on a plane whose distance from two fixed points f and g add up to a constant. What does it mean? Consider the given figure. Look at this. Here f and g are two points, fixed points. Take any point p on the conic. Here the conic is an ellipse. Now if we add the distance between p and capital F and P and capital G, it will give always a constant value. So this means that the given conic represents an ellipse. This point P, if I move this point, I can move this anywhere on the ellipse, it will give the same property like this, that is PF plus PG. It will give us a constant value. Whether we take it is on the ellipse, the point P, if we rotate along the ellipse, around the ellipse, it will give the same distance through the ellipse. So this is the property of ellipse, that the distance will be constant. Major and minor axes. Now what are the major and minor axes of the ellipse? The major axis is the longest diameter. It goes from one side of the ellipse through the center of the other side at the widest part of the ellipse. And the minor axis is the shortest diameter at the narrowest part of the ellipse. Consider the given figure again. Look at this. Here AB is the major axis. This is along x-axis. And CD is the minor axis. This is along y-axis. So this ellipse is a horizontal ellipse. Look at this. This is the major axis along AB, and this is the minor axis on CD. If I move this point like this, look at this, and move to the upper side, this becomes the minor axis and this becomes the major axis. In this case, the ellipse shifted to the vertical case. The first one was the horizontal case, and now the second one is the vertical case. If you rotate it again, it will becomes again the horizontal case like this. Look at this. This is another case of the ellipse. The semi-major axis is half of the major axis, and the semi-minor axis is half of the minor axis. Now what is the semi-major axis? If we half the major axis, it becomes semi-major axis. Similarly, if we half the minor axis, it becomes the semi-minor axis. Look at this. This is semi-major axis, and this one, the red one, is semi-minor axis. Major axis equals F plus G. How? Remember from the top how the distance f plus g stays the same for an ellipse. Well, f plus g is equal to the length of the major axis. As we discussed in the previous slide, that the distance between g and f will be small f plus the sum of will be equal to the sum, which is constant. So the constant, it will always be equal to the length of the major axis. Look at this. This is PF and this is PG, small f and small g. If we add this distance, that is from P to F and P plus P to G, it will give the length of the major axis, which is a constant value. Calculation. Area is easy, perimeter is not. To calculate the area of an ellipse, we will use the formula like this. the area of an ellipse is pi multiply a multiply b. Now here what are a, b? A and b represents the semi-major axis and the semi-minor axis, where a is the length of the semi-major axis and b is the length of the semi-minor axis. Look at the diagram from the center. This represents a, which is the semi-major axis, and this represents b, which is the semi-minor axis. Now be careful, a and b are from the center outwards, not always the way across. You should remember that the value of a will be denoted from the center to the end point on the conic. It means that it will not cross the center. It is from the center. Similarly for b. Note, for a circle a and b are equal to the radius and you get pi r cross r, pi r square, which is right. If we consider a and b are equal distance, are at same distance, then we will get the area of the circle, which is pi r square. Also, circle is a special case of ellipse. It is a very important case, and it may come in anytime MCQs or entry test MCQs that circle is a special case of ellipse. In ellipse, if we calculate, if we take a equal to b, that is the major and minor axes are equal, then we will get a circle. Equation, what is the equation of that? By replacing an ellipse on an xy graph with its major axis on the x and minor axis on the y axis, the equation of the curve will be like this: x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1. Remember that a will be greater than b. This will be the equation, and the graph will be like this in the diagram. So this is the horizontal ellipse, major axis and minor axis. That will be the equation of the ellipse. Eccentricity. The eccentricity is measure of how unround the ellipse is. It means that what is the value of E unround. If we unround the ellipse, it will be equal to, like the formula using semi-major and semi-minor axis is, this is the formula for eccentricity, that is under root a square minus b square. As you are well aware of the a and b, that is a represents major axis and b represents minor axis. So this will be equal to a square minus b square square root divided by a. Consider the diagram. This is the horizontal ellipse. It is center. This one is the major axis, and the point where the conic where cross the axis is called the vertex. Similarly, these are the minor axis. This is the minor axis, and these are the vertex. These two are the focus. This is the clear-cut diagram of the horizontal ellipse. Vertical major axis. So what will happen when the major axis is along y-axis? Like this. Look at this diagram. This is another shape of ellipse which is called a vertical ellipse. This is the major axis which is along y-axis, and this one is the minor axis which is along x-axis. Same is the case as in the horizontal ellipse. Equation. Again, a is greater than b. The equation will be x square by b square plus y square by a square is equal to 1. So this will be the equation of the vertical ellipse. Same as in the horizontal. Eccentricity is the same as in the horizontal. Look at this: a square minus b square square root divided by a. Conditions on eccentricity for various conic sections. These are the conditions which are very important. It is related to entry test. You should remember that when eccentricity is 1, the conic will be a parabola. When eccentricity is less than 1, the conic will be ellipse. So you should remember that eccentricity for an ellipse is less than 1. If eccentricity is greater than 1, the conic will be a hyperbola. If eccentricity is 0, the conic will be a circle. And if eccentricity equal to infinity, it will represent a pair of straight lines. These are 5 points. You may note this for MCQs. It may come in the paper. Look at another diagram. This is a ellipse. Now look at this. This is the center C. These are the focus S and S dash. And this perpendicular line is called the director's line. And how you will draw the directors? The focus and the point. It is A is the vertex, is the midpoint of the focus and the point where directors can be drawn. It has 2 focuses, so it has, the ellipse has 2 directresses. And the line where it intersects the y-axis is the vertices along y-axis, and when it intersects the x-axis, it is called the vertices along the x-axis. The equation of directress x is equal to a by e, and on the negative axis will be x is equal to minus a by e. Important table for ellipse. This table is very helpful. You should remember, students, the equations given: x square by a square, y square by b square equal to 1, x square by a square, y square by b square equal to 1, as less than b. Both are in the same cases. If you take as greater than b, then we will write b a here. But if as less than b, equation will be same. Equation of the major axis y equal to 0. For this is x is equal to 0. Length of the major axis is 2a, and length of the major axis will be 2b. If in case a is greater than b, we will write y square by a square, not by b square. We will write y square by a square. So here we will write 2a. Similarly, equation of minor axis are given. Length of the minor axis 2b, vertices are plus minus a was 0, 0 plus minus b. Foci plus minus ae was 0, and 0 plus minus be. Directresses, as we have discussed it already, x equal to plus minus a by e, y is equal to plus minus b by e. Eccentricity is same. Look at this: 1 minus b square by a square, 1 minus a square by. As here again, you should remember that here we have taken a is greater than b, so we will write b square by a square, and here we have taken a is less than, so we will write a square by b square. It doesn't matter, you can take both. If a is greater than b, we will write b square by a square. Length of the lattice rectum 2b square by a 2b. Now what are lattice rectum? Lattice rectums are lines, perpendicular lines drawn from the focus point. Centers are 0, 0, and for side distance of any point on x plus minus e x and b plus minus e y. Assignment. Solve question number 1, 2, 3, 4 of exercise second year mathematics of exercise 8.2 all parts. It is very easy, you can solve it. Thanks for watching.